I feel like it's gonna be a tangly mess, but I still wanna try it. I feel very good about this planting season, y'all. I also think I was overwatering. I don't have anywhere else to put them. So sad. So, I have on the same clothes as in my last video. You know why? Because it's the same day. It's the same day. But like the whole thing with like summer coming, spring, daylight savings time, I could be out in the garden all day if I want to. Now listen, it was too hot during the actual day today. So we back tonight. Oh, look at all the ants. That is gross. Up on the porch. I must have wasted something, or somebody wasted something on that chair. I'm gonna have to spray that. Anywho, we're back out here this evening because we're about to plant our beans. I showed you the beans earlier today. We're about to plant those out now. The ones that haven't germinated, we're just gonna leave them, let them stay. I give it about 2 days, true story. I give it about 2 days and they're gonna be up and I'll be able to plant those too. So it won't be a big gap in between when I plant them. First, I'm going to water them a little bit. We are going in the greenhouse first. These are my purple potted pole beans, looking a little rough, and some of them haven't even come out all the way, but we still gonna plant them. I'm gonna water them just a little bit though. So real quick, we don't need a lot of purple potted pole beans in the garden, right? Because a lot of them just came back up on their own. But I don't think I said it over here, I said it on Instagram. I am going to interplant some purple potted pole beans with my corn, because as I understand it, like the Three Sisters thing is beans, corn, and squash. I'm not gonna put any squash in there, but I am gonna put some beans in there, and the beans will use the corn stalk to go up, and that's how it'll grow. I feel like it's gonna be a tangly mess, but I still wanna try it. Okay, so let's go. We're gonna take this little tray. These are our purple potted pole beans, right? So we're gonna take these in here. I am going to plant them with the onions. We will see what happens. All right, so we're gonna plant them in this bed right here, which we never talked about this bed. We about to talk about this bed too. I had to go find my I don't even think I really need the hori knife, because this is really soft. Honestly, I probably could just do it with my hands. Now the thing is, we do have some onions in here that's really close to the trellis. We're just gonna pull them out and move them. Probably not a good idea. Ooh, they were rooting though. Love that. Okay, nice. Just gonna move it. Like I said, probably not the best idea, but we still gonna do it. And there's one more up here that we're gonna move. Actually, bulbing too. Nice. I love that. I love that. So this garden bed, I actually purchased it from Bootstrap Farmer. I am affiliated with Bootstrap Farmer right now. I am partnered with Bootstrap Farmer. And so if you have never heard of Bootstrap Farmer, they are a company that was started by farmers, by growers, by homesteaders just like us. And they are bringing us products that should be durable, that's going to last us a while. And I am finding that their products are the trays that I am using, the bags that I am using, they are durable. That's what made me buy this bed from them as well. The other thing that made me buy this bed is that I have nails, and we always talk about the fact that I have nails, right? And I still like the beds that have the bolts, especially if it is a sturdy bed. We're gonna talk about just how easy it was to put together. Not to mention, it is pretty sturdy. It has a piece that goes across the middle of it too. It's pretty sturdy as well. What I like the most is how easy it was to put together. Literally, these pieces right here are like long stakes, and all the way down the pieces that go to the sides, you can slide this in here, and you basically just slide it straight down, and that's putting the bed together. Like, it was very simple. Also, putting the piece on the top, the plastic on the top, or rubber on the top, super simple too. Like, this is probably the easiest bed I have ever put together. By the way, thank you Bootstrap Farmer for sponsoring this video. They did not send me this bed. I paid for this bed myself because I really wanted to try it, and I'm very happy with it. If I were to buy another bed while I am still having nails on, it would be this bed, because it was very simple to put together. I didn't have to twist anything. I'm not sure if they come in taller sizes though. So if I wanted a taller bed, I would have to go with a nuts and bolts type bed. But for if I'm fine with this size, like, Yeah, this bed is where it's at. I mean, probably took me 15 minutes to put together, y'all. I'm not even lying. Probably 15 minutes total to put this bed together. So if you are interested in a bed like this, and if maybe you were thinking maybe it wouldn't hold together, it does. It holds together just fine, and there's like it's a strong bed. So yeah, paid for it myself. Absolutely love it though. And once again, thank you to Bootstrap Farmer for sponsoring this video. All right, so we have these beans. I did start them. I said it before, beans do not prefer to have their roots disturbed. However, molar vole comes in this greenhouse, comes anywhere else. But so listen, oh, thank y'all so much for the support on the chicken video and the quail video earlier today. I really appreciate that. And somebody said, like, who would be judging? I have a video from before where a chicken passed away and it was pretty much my fault, and this was early in me starting to homestead, and there were comments. There were comments, y'all, but I'm happy to have a group of people here now who understand that it's just about learning, and everybody is learning, and there's no judgment. I so much appreciate that. What I was about to say is someone mentioned that they had a vole, I think, and it was living under the shed. So it may help me with the voles too to have the shed removed. Shed is up out of here on Monday. The guy texted me back today and it's out of here on Monday. He said he'll be here Monday to take it. I'm so happy. Now, what I am going to have to do is figure out something temporary until I can get the dog cage, till I can purchase it and get it set up. So I'm super excited about that. Also, what I was gonna say, I'm all over the place, I'm sorry y'all. So beans don't prefer to have their roots disturbed, but the way that the Bootstrap Farmer trays work, you just kind of push the hole in the bottom, and so the roots really aren't getting disturbed. I only planted one seed per sale also to make sure that I wouldn't have to separate or anything like that. So we're going to put 2 bean seeds onto each sides of this trellis. If I can figure out another way to trellis, then I may put another trellis in here, add some more beans. But yeah, we're going to plant these beans with these onions and see what happens. I'm going to put one here. And I'm not even really going to push it down that much. I'm going to let it get into the soil on its own. We're going to put another one here. Just making a hole deep enough to put it in, not digging it any deeper. And then I'll just make sure that I come out here and train it to each trellis so that it can go up the trellis for me. Just like that. That's all I'm going to do. And then I will also water those in, but I'm going to go ahead and get everything planted, and then I'll water everything in at the end. Y'all, look at them. Look at them squash. I mean, they all over the place. I'm so excited. I never really have good squash for a long time. They might look nice for like the beginning, and then they just start dying because the vine boys come and try to take them out. But those have been looking good for a real long time. We're about to go and plant the rest of the purple potted pole beans in with the corn at this point. And I didn't put anything in the planting holes over there because that soil is new, and I also added worm castings to it, so I didn't put anything in there. Now over here with the corn, I am gonna go ahead and put a little bit of granulated fertilizer in the hole. Beans don't need a lot of fertilizer, but they gonna need some fertilizer. Not to mention the corn is a very heavy feeder, so I want to make sure that everything in the bed has enough nutrients. By the way, I did go and pick up the black cow. I need to ask my son to, I walked up here for nothing. That fertilizer is up under the table. But I am gonna ask my son to go ahead and grab that for me, because I'm also gonna do that tonight. I'm gonna put some compost over top of the corn roots as well. And I did grab my hori for this, just because this is soil that I have had to walk on because of the mole or the vole too. So I absolutely should have gotten a stool. I didn't. It's okay. I think what I'm gonna do here is, what I have 8 left. So we got 6 plants down the middle. Oh, but I know what I could do. I could do 1 in the front, go down the middle, and then 1 in the back. Those are the 8 plants that we have left. Oh, actually we have 7 left. Right now we have no germination in here. It's very dark on the other side. I didn't realize that. It's kind of dark on this side too. Oh, here we go. We done brightened up, y'all. We done brightened up. So, oh, Soil is not bad over here as far as digging in it. And then I'm gonna drop a little bit of granulated fertilizer down here. Move this back a little bit because I want to make sure I put the soil back in the hole, not the straw. And then we're just gonna pop this out. Purple botted pole beans are delicious, by the way, if you never tasted them. They turn green once you cook them, but they're really delicious. So we're gonna just drop that down in there. Like I said, we will water in, just like that. And then this should be able to attach to this corn stalk, and then we will have a way to trellis the beans up. This is my first time doing it, but I heard that it works. And I had extra beans, so with that being said, it was worth a try. And we're gonna do that all the way down the line. This one is kind of small, so we'll see how that works. But basically in front of each one, we're gonna put a bean. I feel like this is a part of the corn and it got covered. So I'm gonna pull, well, came off, so I don't know if it was or not, but all right. Only dropping a little bit down in the hole, mixing it up a little bit so that the roots aren't sitting on the fertilizer. And then we're just gonna drop it down in the hole. And you see that those roots still aren't circling. Well, it fell off, but the roots didn't circle in the Bootstrap Farmer trays because they air prune, and I like that about their trays too. Oh, I just found another bean too. I just found another bean that volunteered too, so that's cool. Might be able to use it in here, or I can just move it to the trellis. Yeah, there's still a trellis left. All right, next one. Really hope this works. This would be cool to interplant like this. I do have some squash left, but they're not vining, I don't think. And so I need vining things here. As I understand it, I think, I could be wrong, y'all could correct me if I'm wrong. Or no, I think the squash in Three Sisters is to cover the ground. So, I actually do have some squash left. All right, gonna water all of this in later on this evening before we go in the house. And we will follow this throughout the season, see how it went. I smell cilantro over here. The cilantro was planted here, but I pulled that out, but I still smell it when I'm digging down in here. That's cool. All right. Where's that other bean I saw? Oh Lord, I done smushed it, y'all. I have another one right here anyway. Roselle is also back here. I always plant my Roselle back here. I can also feel the molar vole hole down there, so I'm trying to fill in across. I'm also gonna walk on it once we're done here tonight. All right. So purple potted pole beans, interplanted with corn, done. Good morning, y'all. So it is the next day. I did get a lot done. My son came outside. He wanted to talk, and baby, when your 21-year-old want to talk, you take the time to talk to her, right? So I kept working, but I didn't record because he was out here talking to me. Now listen, what I did do the whole time he was out here was asking him to give me my horror knife because I left it in this pot that I was in before I moved. So that was helpful. But let me show you what I did. Today, I am going to move this plant because I got notification that my green stalks were on the way. So I'm gonna move this plant. It is a native plant that was sent to me from a company, I don't know how long ago, but like native, it does really well here. So I don't want to get rid of it. My plan is I'm going to take it from here and we're going to move this yellow door. Still going to keep it right here till I can fix it. I'm going to move the table down and I'm going to plant it right here in the opening of the garden. I think it's going to be really pretty. I also have some nasturtium starts. Let me show you those. We're going to be 84 degrees today. So at this point when I come to garden, I try to get out early in the morning and then I come back out later in the evening, right? So the nasturtiums probably will get planted later in the evening because there is something to planting later in the evening. I have not experienced any transplant shock because I have planted out pretty much everything. I'm pretty sure everything except for my green stalk in the evening, and I have not experienced any transplant shock this year. So I'm definitely definitely transplanting in the evening, but let me show you the nasturtium starts. So these nasturtium starts have their seed leaves. Some of them are getting their true leaves, but I don't mind planting before they get true leaves, and I don't normally have an issue with it. So we're gonna get those planted out today too. And I need to start some beans, some more beans, because we did get all the beans in yesterday. I'm gonna show you that. And then I think that's really all I need to do today. I do think I'm gonna go ahead and fertilize everything that I have planted in the last week or two. You know, I'm stagger planting, and that has worked out so well for me this year. I think that's gonna be my new way to plant. I don't feel stressed. I feel like I put things where they should have gone. Like, I feel very good about this planting season, y'all. So we have beans right here. We got all the beans out in the beds yesterday. There's beans over here too. And of course, we planted the beans that's within the corn together too. What you might notice is that you are seeing like compost around some of the heavy feeders. And so that is black cow. And I went around and basically top dressed all of the heavy feeders, right? So that's a basil. I did not top dress that. I haven't noticed that it needs a lot of extra, so I didn't top dress that. But everything else, you'll notice that's a little tiny pepper plant, y'all. You'll notice that it has top dressing on it. I did go through and do the same thing to the corn. I just moved the straw back and then put the straw back over it again. So we got that done. I did lose one cantaloupe, I think. It was very small, and so I also think I was overwatering. But that's neither here nor there, y'all. I think I was overwatering, and I think that plant was just kind of drowned in the water, so I won't be watering. It's just been really hot here, and like last week, for instance, or this week, it said rain almost every day, and the next morning you woke up and the rain was gone. So we haven't had rain, I don't know, it might have been 2 weeks now that there's been no rain, and I've just been trying to make sure that the plants did not dry out. But what I did start to notice is some of the leaves were starting to yellow, right? And last night I was about to water. No, last night I did water, right? But then it popped up in my head. I said, when you were moving the soil for the beans, that soil was moist. So we won't be watering for a while. Anyway, remember I wanted to plant one of the sugar cubes? I really wanted those in the garden, so we got one right there. Everything else, this is actually cucumber and cantaloupe that I put on this trellis. So everything else is still living though. But you see, like right here, we were yellowing. And the thing is, underwatering and overwatering can look the same, right? And I definitely did not do the finger check like I said that I like to do. I just was like, oh, and that's where I was telling y'all that I can overwater not even thinking sometimes. And so, but I caught it, and now we're not watering no more. Also, the other thing is I have the straw down. Straw or mulch, any kind of mulch really does hold the moisture in, so I have to remember that. Like, you have this mulch down this year, and you have to make sure that you check the soil. Just because the straw looks dry does not mean that this soil up under it is dry. Chances are the soil up under it is not dry. So just putting that out there for y'all. The other thing that we need to do, and I'm not telling anybody else to do this, but it's what I do because my peppers are pretty much always small because they fight aphids. By the way, all the aphids are gone now. Like, there are no aphids on any of those, on any of these plants. So that's why I was not freaking out too much. I mentioned it because people can see it. It's you know, we on camera. But I wasn't freaking out because normally once I get them in the garden, the aphids are gone. I don't know if that is because I have other insects out here that are eating them, but they never stay once I put them out. But what I was about to say, what I am going to do, because they are so small, is you see where we have some flowers trying to come? So there's some ants on here, but I don't see any aphids. There are ants on here. I mean, it's outside. Yeah, no aphids, just ants. But anyway, these little flowers, I'm gonna pull them off because I do want this plant to focus on getting taller. I don't want little short plants that have fruits on them. So I'm gonna go through and pull all of those flowers off too, and then I'm more than likely gonna fertilize everything that I planted recently. And again, not telling anybody else to do it. The reason why I don't top my peppers, because you may see some other gardeners top their peppers so they can be bushy and I guess short short. I don't like a bushy short pepper. I want a big tall pepper. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of nurse them a little bit, but they're going to do just fine. It is like this every year for me. I think I've said that in a couple of videos now, but I am going to go through, pull all of those off, and then fertilize everything. Oh, the other thing, we need to harvest these peas. We need to harvest these peas. They are good and ready to harvest. There's a lot of them that's like this, so we're gonna harvest these too, but they're still growing and the plant still looks really good. Now I will tell you, there's a lot of shade from the grapevine right now, so I'm wondering how long these are gonna last. We're gonna leave them and see, because they may grow really well because they're shaded by the grapevine. So wow, that grapevine is a pain in my patootie. It might be helping me grow peppers a little bit longer. Let's taste this, y'all. Let's taste this. By the way, somebody asked, or they left a comment and said, can you grow tomatoes in the green stock? I think they said something like, maybe they thought tomatoes needed more space. You can grow tomatoes in the green stock. Mine are growing just fine. I do have a patio variety, so they're a smaller variety. They're not like an indeterminate. They're not just gonna kind of keep growing. So you can grow them in there. So sweet. So sweet, y'all. I don't like store purchased peas. They have no sweetness. All you taste is the starch. They're so bland. But a pea straight out of the garden is absolutely delicious. If you haven't grown peas, I think I say this every year. If you haven't grown peas and eating them straight out of the garden, you do not know what you're missing. They are absolutely delicious. I mean, they're delicious, y'all. By the way, I also started putting clips onto the tomatoes as well. Probably need to start going through and doing the Florida weave at this point, because now that we have the whole situation with the chickens, I don't want to overextend myself. I don't want to overextend myself by going to get cattle panel and having to put that up everywhere. We're gonna stick with the Florida weave for this year, and next year we may do that, because I'm still gonna have to put that dog kennel, crate, whatever you call it, up once the shed is gone. So I made a decision. We're just gonna stick with Florida weed for the tomatoes this year. Somebody asked me, what am I cutting my cattle panel with? I don't even know, and I really have to find it. Even if I may have to purchase a new one, but it was just like a metal cutter that I got from Lowe's. I'm pretty sure I got it from Lowe's. When I find it, if I can find it, I will show you on camera. But it was like a metal cutter. It was really easy to use. Pretty sure it had like long handles, so I could kind of stand up and use my weight on it. But if I can find it, I'll show it on another video. But yeah, it was just a basic metal cutter. Wasn't hard to do at all. All right, let's harvest some peas, y'all. I don't harvest them really for cooking. I really just harvest them for fresh eating. But they are absolutely delicious. We got a few that's ready. Some of them are a little skinnier, but we'll get them another day. There's another one. And these peas were direct sown either in January or February, and when the time was right, they came up, started growing. I don't think I've ever started peas. I can't remember. I've been doing this for a long time at this point, 5 years. I don't think that I've ever started them early and planted them out, but you can. So that's a little small pea harvest. So the thing is, with peas, they're one of those plants that the more you harvest, the more you get. And so I try to harvest them as often as I can. I did not harvest them as soon as I could have, because I wanted to harvest them on camera with y'all. Yeah, we got those. So we'll be probably snacking on them as we go through the garden today, as we work today. I mean, they just really, really delicious, y'all. They are sweet and they are starchy, but I'm not gonna eat a whole bunch of them, but I'm gonna eat a few because they just delicious. Yeah, totally not what you get out of the grocery store. Not what you get out of the grocery store at all. Very high sugar content straight out of the garden. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move this table down so that we can move that plant right here. And it's kind of early in the day, and so that plant is probably going to get some sun today. I'm gonna water it in really good, and it's gonna get shaded because of the orchard anyway, so I think it'll be fine. I really do. Let's see if we can do this the easy way. Probably not. By the way, if you're in my area and you want some, I want to say black cherry or Brad's Atomic Grape, not black cherry, black beauty or Brad's Atomic Grape, let me know. We can meet. I don't have anywhere else to put them. So sad. I kind of wanted to move this table anyway because it was on a bit of a slant. So when my plants were on it, the water was pushing back when I was watering them. So kind of works out that I'm moving it. I know y'all like, you are doing this the hard way. Still, basically not gonna push it all the way back so that it can be on a level surface. Now it's all even. That's what I was going for. Now let's put all this back. Ooh, some of it stayed under the table. Yes! So fun fact, before I was Yellow Door Urban Homestead, I was home behind the yellow door. I changed it later, like when I got chickens and when I got quail, I decided to change it to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. And that's what I did. So anyway, let's dig the hole first. So we're just gonna dig a little hole here, and that's what we're gonna drop that plant at. I really think that's one of those plants that can be separated by the root. Honest truth, but I'm just gonna dig the whole thing up, everything I can, and then I'm gonna drop it right here. And I think it'd be a pretty flower to adorn the area. Also, I think the ants are coming from the wood chips. I have way more ants than I have ever had in my garden this year, and I really think it's from the wood chips, which I still don't regret. I still love having them, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where the ants coming from, the wood chips. Now that greenhouse always had ants in there, but I'm seeing ants everywhere, like all over, and I think it's from the wood chips. All right, so I got the hole dug. It's a pretty deep hole. This was mostly wood chips though, right? Because I had a walkway that went right through here. My brother took it out, but we never backfilled it, so I used the wood chips to kind of fill it in. Wood chips have started breaking down, but there are still fresh wood chips that came out of that hole, so that's kind of cool because it was actually an indention where the sidewalk was, so I was really kind of glad to get those wood chips when I did because it was a way to fill that in. So now we're gonna go dig up that plant and put that back in here. And the reason why you're not seeing me actually do it is because my camera is getting hot. So at least I could keep you with me as I'm doing it a little bit, but the camera keep getting hot, y'all. So we're just gonna take this out. Also wood chips over here because I had laid them, but I don't think it's very deep. Also there is the landscape fabric, so we're gonna go from the back end of this to dig this out. I didn't put landscape fabric around the whole plant. I'm gonna go down as deep as I can to try to get as much of the roots as I can. It's a very pretty plant. Flowers really nicely. Probably not getting as much as I can. And it hasn't rained, so the soil is very dry. But that's another thing. It survives in dry soil. All right, so I think we pretty much got it. Let's see. I'm gonna try to just pull it. We're gonna water it in really good though. Yep, we got it. Nice. Love that. Broke some of it, but it's okay. Probably one of the ones that I could root again too. I got nowhere else to put it though. So, all right. I'm gonna drop that down in there. And then I may backfill with some of the Pro Mix, because like a lot of this, not even joking, is just wood chips. And I may need to put some, because I want it to stay at the level that it was. I'm gonna put some Pro Mix in there first and then drop this in there. It's got a lot of roots, so I'm cool with that. I think it'll transplant fine. Let me get some Pro Mix. It's very dry, but I plan to water it in really good anyway. I sat out here this morning and I was like, where can I put this plant because I don't want to lose it. And I was like, oh, you could put it right by the fence. It gets really bushy, that's why I put it a little bit away from the walkway, because it gets really bushy once the growing season starts. So yep, that's what I want. And then I'm just gonna fill up around it. Has really pretty flowers, white flowers that come from it. Yeah, this definitely could be separated. I'm seeing it here. Nice. I'm gonna see if I can look it up and tell y'all what this is. In case you're in Virginia, I do know it's native to my area. And before I put the wood chips back over it, I'm gonna water it in a couple times probably. Cause for one, the Pro mix is dry, and the roots of this plant was kind of dry. This is a plant I don't even worry about watering, honestly. I let the rain water it, and probably because it's native, that works. It's used to our climate and how much rain and stuff we get. I want to look into getting a little more native plants too, because I think it would help me with some of my work. All right, let's get the water hose. And then we'll also see how much settling we get and see if we need to add any more Pro mix. Whew. And we're gonna go in with a slow type one first, because it doesn't help to just like drown it in the beginning, especially if the soil is already dry. It's just gonna run straight through it. So I'm using the mist setting first, and we're gonna let it sit and come back. Trying to get in the middle and everywhere first. These are from last year. I'll pull those out once it gets settled. So we're gonna let that sit for a minute and do something else. Actually, the sun is out, so I'll probably just see y'all this afternoon. well, evening.